How much money did YouTube pay me for my most popular video with over 1 million views? Well, today we're gonna find out. Hey everybody, this is Roberto Blake helping you create something awesome today. Welcome back to the channel. For the new people here, first of all, welcome. Thanks for watching. My name is Roberto Blake. I'm an entrepreneur, public speaker, and today we're gonna talk about YouTube. We're gonna talk about my YouTube AdSense earnings. In a previous video, I showed you how much money I make on YouTube. Today, we're gonna see what YouTube paid me for a video with over 1 million views. We're also gonna look at a 90-day cycle where I did 1 million views on the channel and how much YouTube paid me for that. We're gonna tell you the truth about making money on YouTube ads. The reason I wanna do this video is there is so much misinformation out there about YouTube, and how much YouTubers earn is a topic of speculation, and often the media gets it wrong, but you also have a lot of videos that I just feel like cover this topic and they don't do it well. Now, there are some great channels that have done an amazing job with it, but there's just a lot of information you don't know if you're trying to become a YouTuber, and I wanna try and debunk some things that might be out there. A lot of you might have heard that you make $25 to $2 CPMs, and that's not entirely true. And that's not what you could call normal. There is no normal in YouTube. So that information is a baseline that people like to use to speculate on how much money YouTubers make. If you go to Social Blade, you'll see a lot of information about how much money YouTubers make, but it doesn't account for anything. It doesn't account for what country their views are in. It doesn't talk about any of the really deep dive stuff that helps you get higher CPM rates. And the numbers are just inaccurate. If you've seen my videos, and you'll see the data here for yourself, those numbers are not accurate at all with regard to how much money I make. So they're probably not accurate with how much money most people make, or even what you can expect to make. Now, my most popular video on YouTube is passive income, 10 ways to make passive income online. I published this video back in May of 2016. Now, according to YouTube analytics, that video for 1.4 million views earned me $9,836.32 as of the making of this video. So that's actually really good. And for 1.4 million views, that's a lot of money. It had an average CPM of about $12.32. So nice, right? Now, that video is one that took off over a period of time, as you can see. And for years after I published it, it was still making me money. It was still making me real passive income, making me hundreds of dollars a month. Long after I published this video, there were months back to back where I was making $500 or $600 off of this one video every single month, which is insane. That is crazy to think about. Now, there are other videos that I've done that are close to that in terms of what they earned, and they did it with a lot less views. And so I'll give you an example. An example of that would be a video that I did on affiliate marketing step-by-step. It's another one of these videos in terms of how to make money online, $100 a day in passive income. That video did 133,103 views, so about 130K views, and it did $3,024.70 in revenue. Not bad at all. If it had done 10 times as many views, just like the previous video, then it might have made me as much as, if we're doing the math here, $30,000 on the video. Now, it probably would have been less, but it still would have been close to 20,000 if I'd gotten that video to 1 million, because that video has extraordinarily high CPM rates. So when you really think about it, when you look at these videos, they're wildly different, and the data here is crazy in terms of how much a video can be worth. Now, there's a video where I did 360,000 views, how to get 10,000 subscribers in YouTube. That video did $2,546. So that is a big gap between 130,000 doing more money than that. And why is that different? Why are two videos on the same channel getting wildly different ad rates? Why do they have wildly different CPM rates? Because the videos reach different audiences. Even though my core audience is a little bit older, when people want to know how to grow on YouTube, you get a little bit of a younger audience on those videos, and you get people from all over the world watching those things. And based on age and demographics, geography, there are a lot of factors that go into what ads play on a video. A video that talks about money or passive income will get completely different ads from a video talking about social media or anything entertainment based or popular, or a vlog will not make nearly as much money as a video that is on personal finance or real estate or, again, marketing. They'll pull completely different advertisers and a completely different audience that is valued differently. And so it's going to be worth more money to do some categories in YouTube than other categories in YouTube. I would say the lowest CPMs are probably in comedy and in gaming and maybe even vlogging. So you just have to think about what ads could possibly run against your videos, what brands would market against those videos, and how much do they sell a product for? How much is advertising worth to them? What are their budgets like? So these are things you really have to think about. There's also the simple fact that not all videos are monetized equally. Just because you got views doesn't mean those views had ads attached to them. Now, a lot of people think that I run multiple mid-roll ads on my videos, and I don't. I very rarely put a mid-roll ad in a video. I do it on occasion, but most of my videos, if you're a longtime viewer, you know that I have an ad at the beginning of a video and an ad at the end of a video, and that's usually it. Now, what a lot of popular YouTubers will do, because their ad CPMs are so low, they have to do multiple ads in the middle of a video to really make any significant money on AdSense. That's why so many YouTubers do sponsorships and merchandise and other things to be able to make money. And I don't fault them for that at all. I've always talked about the fact that you need to diversify your income and that AdSense is not a stable way to make money. And that's why I'm making this video and why it's so important. Now, all of that being said, I want to show you something really interesting. And to do that, I'm going to have a mid-roll ad right here. Now, if you got through that mid-roll ad, assuming you saw one, then I want you to understand something. Whatever advertisement you just watched is considered a monetized view. And for most YouTubers, the far majority of their videos, the ads on the video show up on only 30% or less of all the views that they get. Now, in other niches, specific niches like entertainment or gaming, a lot of those people might have ad block, and so less of their views are monetized. More than 60 to 80% of my views are monetized in a given period, which means that for me, I actually do a lot better than most YouTubers in terms of my views getting ads playing on them. And so I would make more money on those views, even if I get less of them. So that's just kind of a given with what happens in my channel. And that's different than other people. And I don't say that to brag, I say that to just give you the real example of why would somebody who has less views stand to make more money on YouTube, because it's possible. And also, if you're a smaller channel, maybe that makes you a little bit optimistic. Maybe you're a little bit more optimistic about what your earning potential in YouTube could be. Now let's look at the last 90 days. So in the last 90 days, and I'm pulling the data here on my laptop, looks like the battery's gonna die, just a little over 1 million views, was worth over $7,000 on my channel. So as you can see, there's a lot of opportunity for you here in YouTube. Depending on what category of YouTube you're doing, it might be more worthwhile in ads, but otherwise you might need to look at other revenue streams. CPM rates are not guaranteed. As you can see, you might be getting 25 cents for CPM rates or $25. And it really depends on what the videos are and also whether they are monetized. You might not be worth as much in terms of monetized views if you're cursing, anything extreme, or covering sensitive subjects. So that matters. Channel authority and watch time matters more than views. Cash over clout, my friends, cash over clout. I keep saying it in Twitter. Follow me on Twitter at Roberto Blake if you're not already, by the way. So let's talk about some ways that you can make more money on YouTube. I think that's really important. We saw like what 1 million views is worth, but I don't need 1 million views to be successful in YouTube and to make a substantial amount of money. We also know that that's not the money that I make every single month. I make money off of affiliate marketing through the links that I use in the description for camera gear or for products. We also know that we do sponsorships. In my case, I am very good at business and I'm in a different category of YouTube than an entertainer. I speak to an older audience with disposable income and I have proven sales numbers. I can prove that I can convert sales. So when I go and I negotiate a brand deal, I'm able to get a lot more money because I'm not using my views as my leverage. I'm using my authority as my leverage. I'm using the fact that I'm a public speaker. I'm using the fact that I have an email list to include in the deal. I'm using the fact that I'm positioned very uniquely in the market. And those are things you need to understand about negotiating, which I'll cover in a completely different video. I've done videos on negotiating and how to sell, but a lot of you skipped over those because it didn't have the words YouTube in the title. So we'll figure that out later, and we'll make some clickbait title just for you. Now, when it comes to how to make money outside of YouTube, I think this is important because a lot of you are hoping to go viral, and we've seen it before. Ice Poseidon put out some information where he showed that on a video with over 1 million views, he only made $500. As we know that for me, 1 million views would be worth so much more, and it's because I get different CPM rates. And again, your CPM rates might be lower if you have viewers that are in another country. Ad rates are best in like the US, the UK, Canada, Australia, places like that. They're not as good in other places. If you're getting a lot of views from maybe South America or India or parts of the Netherlands, they may not be worth as much money, and there may not be as many ads to play against those videos. Or if your audience is blocking, they have VPN, they might be routing through a country that has no ads or lower ad rates. They might be using ad blockers. So those are all things that could affect your revenue. I honestly believe that it's easier to make $1,000 freelancing or doing a number of other things online that I've talked about than making money on YouTube ads. It's not as glamorous as it looks, and that's why I wanted to show you guys the real numbers. Now, it's also not as bleak as the media paints it out to be. The media would have you believe that every YouTuber that's not at 10 million subscribers is living in poverty, and that's just not true. But at the same time, when that's not the narrative is that, anybody with 100,000 subscribers must be rich, and that's also equally not true. The truth is that YouTube is an individual experience. Your mileage may vary. What somebody else makes is not really any of your business beyond the fact that maybe it's useful information. But if you're not doing the type of content that person is doing, or you don't have the type of audience that that person has, or any number of variables that you can't know or control, then your results are not going to be that person's results. Just because I make a certain amount of money on YouTube, does that mean that that's the normal? And I think that so many of you get tripped up, and the reason there's so much misinformation and so many myths and rumors out there is not because YouTubers aren't being transparent and not because a bunch of us aren't making these videos. We are, but people are taking it out of context and saying, oh, so that's what I'm gonna make, or that's going to be me, or that it's not. You have to run your own race, have your own journey, have your own experience, because I have data on multiple YouTube channels, and nobody's CPM rates are the same. There's no normal. Nobody's ad rates are the same in terms of how many of their views are monetized. It's not the same. So just kind of think about that and think about what you can do to make the most out of your YouTube channel. How can you position yourself to make as much money as possible? And are you making content that you enjoy? I would say if you want to be a full-time content creator, do not rely on AdSense. It is not something that is sustainable in the long term. And I don't care if there are a couple of mythical unicorns out there making $50,000 or $60,000 a month. There's a real good chance that that's not how it's going to play out for you, even if you get big. Hopefully this was helpful and it shed some truth on this topic that's very important to me. I think it's important to a lot of us here in the YouTube community. I've got a question of the day for you. So question of the day. If you have 1 million views, how much has that been worth, so that we have some more data to compare it to? And if you don't have 1 million views, what I wanna know is what is for you the most challenging thing about YouTube? And hint, you can't tell me it's views, you can't tell me it's subscribers. I wanna know about your creator journey. So what is a struggle for you in YouTube that has nothing to do with views or subscribers? What are you trying to understand? That way I can make a video about it here on the channel and help you out. If you want to learn more about YouTube, I've got a great playlist of videos. I also have some stuff linked down in the description that can help you out. And also, if you just want to do one-on-one coaching with me, or you want to join my membership group and get some more exclusive training and learn how to build an online business or how to market yourself on YouTube or Instagram, then make sure you're hitting up awesomecreatoracademy.com. There are going to be links for you in the description down below. That is my coaching business. and I'm just looking to try and help more creators. We built a great network, and I'd like to have more of you in there so that we can share information, share data, and so that we can grow together and build real businesses that help the community. Anyway, like this video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out the other awesome content here on the channel. As always, you guys, thanks so very much for watching, and don't forget, go out there and create something awesome today. Take care.